Stimulus checks of $1,000 to $2,000 are being approved, everybody. So continue watching this video to find out the latest news about this.
I'm Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, and I'm honored to represent Washington's 7th Congressional District in the House of Representatives, where I also serve as the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus.
Are you a senior, Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA beneficiary? If you are, then make sure to continue watching this video to learn how you can claim the next stimulus check. Americans in the country are still being negatively impacted by the crisis. This crisis has led to the federal government stepping up to help Americans still struggling in the disruption. Now, the crisis has still hurt millions of people and household finances. In a recent press release, the IRS put out its annual report highlighting the efforts of its employees in 2021. One of the accomplishments touted by the agency has been successfully delivering more than $1.5 trillion to people across the nation through EIP payments, tax refunds, and advanced child tax credit payments. The CARES Act included provision for around stimulus payments. All eligible tax-paying adults received a check of up to $1,200, while eligible dependents under 16 years of age received $500. $500 each. Those that did not receive a stimulus payment, either through the CARES Act or the December Stimulus Relief Bill, were able to claim it when they filed their federal tax returns for 2020 through the IRS Recovery Rebate Credit. Barely a week after the second round of stimulus payments was completed, President Biden entered the office and immediately unveiled his American Rescue Plan, which proposed a third round of payments to Americans, including some of those who might have missed out on the first two rounds. The good news is that discussions for a fourth stimulus check have already begun in Congress so far. More than 3 million Americans think another round of stimulus checks is a great idea, and I support that idea as well. Currently, a Change.org petition started by Stephanie Bonin continues to gain steam. So far, the petition has blown up past the 3 million signature mark with a goal of 4.5 million supporters. At 4.5 million signatures, the petition would be one of the top signed petitions on Change.org. And according to Stephanie Bonin, our country is still deeply struggling, and the recovery hasn't reached many Americans, and many people face large debts from last year. So these are all reasons why stimulus checks have to be approved. It took Congress 9 months to send out a second stimulus check. It is really sad to see that so many Americans continue to struggle because of the ongoing crisis. Rising prices have made it really hard for millions of Americans to stay afloat. So far, Americans have already received 3 rounds of payments, but economists and lawmakers are urging that the Biden administration, President Biden has joined the White House Competition Council for its second meeting, providing Americans with a progress report on its efforts to promote economic competition, and drive prices down. Biden has said that the Biden administration is working to get record inflation under control. Prices have gone up at their fastest rate in nearly 30 years, but economists say that the worst is yet to come. Soaring food costs and the energy bill drove inflation to 5.4% in the 12 months to December.
This is a great city, and I'm the Biden of Brooklyn. And I love the fact that the president is coming here. I met with him after the campaign, and we spoke, and we just connected, and I'm sure if you were to ask him what is his favorite mayor, he'll clearly tell you it's Eric. we just really like each other. And he's coming here because when I met with him, and you'll like this, Marsha. When I met with him, I told him that we stop terrorism by combining our city, state, and federal agencies. And when we felt that it was terror we had to stop, why didn't we do it with the terror that's playing out on our streets every day? Hundreds of people being shot in Chicago. Hundreds are being shot in Atlanta, Detroit, New York. Why aren't we combining our resources to stop the flow of guns? And he reached out to the DOJ, ATF, and he implemented what we have here. We have a joint task force that's together, that they meet every day, FBI, ATF, Department of Justice, everyone is in the same room, NYPD. And so he's coming to see the seed that he planted. It was put in place in August when the previous administration heard me, and he's coming to see that. And we have a few more surprises that we want to do, and we just gotta hang out together. That's my dude. Huh?
Why are you the Biden of Brooklyn?
Because we're just like these blue collar guys. You know, he is comfortable around everyday people. And you could just tell that when you're in his presence. He's just, you know, he's ordinary Joe. He knows the people, but the people know him. And so I just patterned my campaign around his whole spirit that he's an ordinary guy, you know, and he's a guy that can bear the weight of this.
Now, in a final matter, last week, Justice Stephen Breyer announced his plans to retire from the Supreme Court at the conclusion of this term. Justice Breyer deserves our country's hearty congratulations. By this summer, he will have dedicated more than 4 decades of service to the federal judiciary, including 28 years on our highest court. During this time, the justice has won respect and admiration from across the legal profession. One does not have to agree with the substance of Justice Breyer's legal philosophy or the conclusions he has reached in many cases to appreciate the service he has rendered to the court and to our country. He is universally regarded as a careful and committed jurist. He is a top-shelf legal expert and intellectual heavyweight. In fact, Justice Breyer has published prolifically, even beyond his caseload. Over the decades, the justice has spent many hundreds of published pages transparently laying out his legal philosophy and thinking through scholarly questions in public view. Most of all, I admire Justice Breyer's staunch defense of the institution of the Supreme Court itself in the face of increasingly reckless rhetoric from loud voices on the political left who'd like to consider themselves intellectually aligned with Justice Breyer. The justice proved that, in fact, they are not. He has been a loud and consistent opponent of disastrous ideas such as modern Democrats' partisan court-packing proposals that would destroy public trust and deal a permanent blow to the rule of law. So my warm best wishes are with Justice Breyer, his wife Joanna, and the Breyer family as the justice concludes his term and his truly remarkable tenure. Naturally, the country's focus now turns to the next chapter for the court, which President Biden and the Senate will author together. For now, Madam President, I'll simply note a basic fact. President Biden was elected on the specific promise to govern from the middle, steward our governing institutions, and unite a divided country. Underscoring that point, the American people handed President Biden a dead-even Senate, 50-50. I suggest that President Biden bear this in mind as he considers